Hello, I am by St Giles Church today on the Royal Mile, and today we're going to be discussing the trial of Burke and Hare. Well, in fact, actually, we're not. We're going to be discussing the trial of Burke and MacDougall. His hair was never put on trial for his crimes. So let's just start off by saying, modern day Edinburgh, this is the courthouse over here, or one of them. But back in their day, we've got to go through here to see where the trial took place. So let's head there now. Okay, yeah, so this is Parliament House. It does actually say Supreme Court still up on there. We'll just walk along a bit, get out of these people's way. Yeah, so they do still have court proceedings that do take place in this building. As I found out when I tried to get inside it for a video about the Royal Mile. Let's just come in here, I think, and then I'll tell you about the trial. Yes, so the trial began at 10 a.m. on Christmas Eve in 1828. Apparently, they opened the doors to the building at 9 a.m. and they were full pretty much instantly. Lots of people wanted to see the proceedings. My favourite fact about the trial is that apparently one of the spectators was Madame Tussaud, yeah, of the waxworks fame. That's pretty interesting. So the judge presiding over the case was Lord Justice Clerk David Boyle. And as I said, it was William Burke and Helen MacDougall who were on trial. Hare was not put on stand at all because he had turned the King's evidence against Burke. Yeah, so the trial actually ran overnight, which is something I found quite strange. The court transcript mentions like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. They were still discussing things, and it was actually at 9:20 on Christmas Day, 1828, when the jury had reached their verdict. They had actually retired to their chamber about 50 minutes before coming back with their two verdicts, which were William Burke was found guilty and Helen MacDougall was found not proven, which has since been only just this year has been taken out of the Scottish legal system. But it meant basically we think you did it, but we haven't got the evidence. Okay, I want to go this way now and show you where the hanging took place. Um, it's going to be quite tricky. It is very busy over there at the minute, and there is also, as you can hear, a bagpiper playing, which is going to cause me some problems as well. Right, I think I'm going to walk and talk. I'll give you my facts, and then when we get there, I'll just show you the plaque on the floor, really. And then there's a sketch I've got to try and match up to show you. I think I can see some of the windows in the sketch, but I'm not 100% certain. So, yes, 28th of January 1829, the hanging took place at 8:15 a.m. There was allegedly 25,000 spectators, which in this small area is a lot of people. Um, and apparently, you could buy a window view uh, between 5 shillings and 20 shillings, depending on the goodness of the view. And yes, that's the right expression. Yeah, so, well, it's hard to really point out some windows at the moment because they've all changed. But yeah, these windows up here are probably for sale, I'd imagine. I'm just looking up there actually. That's quite an interesting. Never noticed that before. That's quite interesting. Yes, yeah. So just around this corner is where the hanging took place. We're going to have a look at that in a minute. The only last thing I've got to say actually is about souvenirs. Obviously, Burke's body, bits of it were taken, and they made books out of it and things like that. Um, Allegedly, people did take part of the gallows as well and sold them. That is allegedly, because there's not really any evidence of that. In fact, back underneath Parliament House is where the gallows were stored when they were not in use, and so they were dismantled and put away. So, I mean, people could have got a piece of it, but I don't know. The noose as well is debated. What happened to that? Uh, One theory is that it is at Inver I'll put the spelling up, jail. They do claim to have the noose that was used on him. But that is speculative, I think is the word. I'm not discrediting them. I do want to go and see it as well, but I'm just going based on what I've read online. Right, very quickly. No, you couldn't have bought these windows for use because this building was built in 1872, which is after the hanging took place. So no. Okay, there's our bagpiper. He's very good, but he hasn't come up for air in about 20 minutes, so he does not stop. Right, waiting for it to be quiet enough here is not happening, so just going to have to go for this, hope for the best. But here is where the gallows were, roughly, just on the corner of Bank Street and Royal Mall. Again, it's absolutely mobbed, so I'll just do the best I can. So this is the sketch that I found of the actual hanging. You can see some Giles in the background, and if I swing around this way, I think you can see these windows at the edge of the drawing. I may be mistaken, but that's my best guess. Right there, I've come back a little bit so you can see the whole thing. So these windows, I think, are possibly here. You can definitely see the church. That building was not here. Pizza Express was definitely not here. Yeah, there you go. Right, anyway, that is where the trial took place and where the hanging took place. Okay, bye.